Well, they always say that you shouldn't judge someone who is not so analytic as you or as intelligent as you, because there are as many ways someone can be intelligent, so to speak. As we wrap up the fight against the beasts, this is a chapter that is only detailing Brittany and then Rebecca. Well, not only we see a nice moment between Homera and that. It's the ending of this chapter that really begs the question: what is going to happen now? However, there has been some rumors circulating that the manga will be on break next week due to magazine breaks, so we will probably not see anything more. But first of all, yeah, this is me, the angry anime fan, the semi-retired by all the mostly only review Eden Zero reviewer, and this is the review of chapter 120 of Eden Zero at long last. It's going to be a while before we see something else. So, well, first off, Homura finished off that era that said sadist Mora, who is still crying like the pathetic guy he really is. And Homura finally collapsed out of the heat. Luckily, Shiki managed to catch her. It's a very nice moment, especially as she begins to carry her to a spring where she can recover. Of course, this heartwarming moments get a little bit ruined, although this is mostly as played for comedy. When Shiki sees a spider and immediately faints, although technically spider isn't really a bug, it's an arachnid, but then again, people have more fear of spiders maybe than bugs, although maybe it's the same. So of course Shiki collapsed, so in the end Homura has to drag Shiki away. I do wonder, will we ever get an explanation of why he has such a crippling fear for bugs? There has only been one single hint on why we have had that, and that's from a cover page when he was young, where Michael was taking him bug catching, and well, they were surrounded by giant bugs. But when I think about it, wasn't those mechanical bugs? Well, either way, Shiki was just a young boy, so I think that would cripple anyone. But the fact that he becomes like a crying mess of things that happened, well, who knows really. But that after that is just Rebecca versus Brittany, as Rebecca tries to use the speed of her ether gear to fight Brittany, who in this one moment shows a little bit more personality. At first, she has been shown to be very unathletic, so we could always know that she was, well, a smart girl. But now we see a little more comedic evil side of her that details that she looks down on those that are harder. And the reason with that is some very long rant about something like a woman that tried to flirt with him, a complete airhead with nothing but slightly better looks, meaning that she has apparently a despising for those that looks more sexy but do not have any brain. Meaning probably she had a crush. I do wonder who that guy is, though. Wouldn't it be dark if it turns out it's Shura she's talking about? Because if you think about it, he was surrounded by ladies, although one lady was very reluctant in getting near him. And we all know what he did to those two ladies, so if it's Shura she has a crush on, then I would say Brittany is the one who is not smart. Granted, it may not be him, because if she's smart, I would not flirt with someone as sadistic as Shura. Granted, I mean, you know what I mean. Well, either way, turns out her smoke can even become corrosive as she tries to fight Rebecca. And unfortunately, Rebecca cannot fight her because she is not solid. So she just picks up Pino and Happy and tries to run away. Of course, Brittany gives chase, but then they take another path to fire where the smoke cannot go up here. And here is actually I think, some minor reality science of the fact that smoke goes up when it's next to fire, although she doesn't know why, because here's actually a nice callback to, well, the arc of the beekeepers, because one of them, Miss Miyako, was actually the intelligent glasses girl. She apparently has a science channel, and we all know that Rebecca loves to watch other beekeepers, unfortunately not being as good as herself. Almost like me. I like to watch beekeepers, but I have zero talent in YouTube, mostly because I don't know how to do it. So of course, but even Brittany knows about the Steam Girl channel. Mm, so well, but she of course does not recognize Rebecca because of her content. So she runs back in town and still sees the enslavement of all, which is still a very horrifying situation as she tries to find a way to save. And her two carriage of Happy and Pino are still unconscious, although Happy mentions about food and makes her stew hungry. She gets to the electronic shop and finds a vacuum cleaner. Unfortunately, it's electro-locked, which Pino managed to analyze and give the password of A66E. Unfortunately, Brittany releases the corrosive smoke and begins to burn Rebecca from the inside out. As she laughs sadistically when that happens, we see the almost fully consumed body of Rebecca, although a little bit naked as well. But in that desperate moment, her cat leaper awakens as we actually see her rewinding time all the way from when she was outside of the, well, the vacuum cleaner thing. And so she immediately recalls what happened, finds the vacuum cleaner, enters the password, and manages to suck in Brittany. After that, she says a badass line like, I don't care if I'm stupid, it's better than being a smart person who hurts others, as she delivers a powerful kick, Aoi Neko kick, perhaps as a sign of saying, this is payback for not knowing who I am, as she sends Brittany all the way flying up to the sky, trapped in a vacuum cleaner. This is actually some reality that she's hot air or dust or whatever. Well, she's not dust, but she's smoke. So yeah, it's me. I don't really know. I don't think you can actually vacuum clean up smoke, but it's a popular gag in cartoons and stuff like that you can. So I guess that would make sense that she would be doing it. And if you think about it, that was solid smoke. So in a way, it will make sense for her to do that. So in the end, Brittany was just sent up flying, trapped in a vacuum cleaner in an I must scream moment. And that is a fitting end to her. She was tricked by someone she looked down on. That's a fitting end for her. And I have to say, I like Rebecca's powers of the fact that her cat leaper gives her immense speed as well as great kicks, meaning that now she really fights with the kicks, although her kicks is not exactly complete athletic. Of course, Pino asks how she knew about that, and she mentions that the cat leaper activated. However, this is here is where a lot of people had a little problem with it. They're saying, "Oh, it is such a broken power." You have to realize one thing. Xiaomei herself said it's a power of possibilities. That means broken. And also, she couldn't turn back time when the Eden Zero was nearly destroyed by Eden's One, so it is almost apparent that the power cannot be activated by Rebecca so far at will. It can only be activated during certain moments when her life is in extreme danger to the point of death. Only then the power seems to awaken. The only real difference is when the first time it awakened and we rewrote and we landed in a new world. That was one time when that was different. So the bigger question is here, exactly how do Cat Leaper works? If Rebecca could really control the power to turn back time, then imagine how broken she will be. This is merely, I wouldn't say a Deus Ex Machina, but this is merely a power that just happens when it happens. Even Rebecca herself just wonders. But it felt different than last time. Are we really in world number 31 now? It felt like when I fought Nino, the world didn't move. Just time just went backwards. Maybe my power can. And she wonders how it is. And yes, I actually believe we are still in world 31 because when she used it against Nino, the world didn't end up in a different world. She has rewote time a couple of minutes. Although some people have said, then what was those other moments where, well, Master Noah said she rewote time? That said was different worlds. So yeah, I mean, again, we don't know the true extent of Cat Leaper. We don't even know when we end up in a different world. But it does seem that she can activate her power when she is in life-changing power, and only then does the power not give her speed. When she's in danger, she leaps backwards into time. But only in true life-changing moments does she leap through time, thus landing in a different world. This isn't exactly a different world. It's just rewriting the situation that happened now. But what is her final line there? That is the question here. Is she intending that somehow rewrite the time before Siggy took control in case this fails? Is this what she is dreaming of doing? Because if you do that, doesn't that mean that if she could do that, then that would mean we will land in World 32, wouldn't it? Although, or is she intending to do something else with it? Well, and the bigger problem is only she can leap back through time. If, granted, the Eden Zero know about the power now, but only she can leap back to time. And it appears that now she actually recalls the memory of it. She is slowly becoming more aware of Cat Leaper, or Cat Leaper is becoming more aware inside of her. Imagine what kind of a broken power that would be. But I have a feeling the power of Cat Leaper is a lot more mysterious than we want to believe. And also, it can't just be like that. She can't use it to rewrite destiny like that yet. She may have the power. In a way, you could say that is just like Ellie. Ellie, minor spoiler alert from Rave Master, had a big power. A power that is even referenced in Eden Zero. So, yeah. And she couldn't control the power, but when she could control the power, she was near unstoppable. I think this is the same with Rebecca. She holds a great power with great responsibility and even more difficult to control. But once she can, oh boy, we'll see sparks. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a chapter next week. But now the Beast commandos are all out of commission. All that is left is the satellite. And perhaps the Robot Rebellion. But something tells me whatever awaits next is not gonna be hope. Give me your thoughts if you have any.